Hey beautiful people, it's Melissa from Choosing My Health, and I teach you how to easily transition to a whole food plant-based lifestyle and thrive. And today, I'm gonna teach you how to cook beans so you're not passing gas all day, which hands down has to be the number one reason why people avoid them. But fam, there are easy ways to make them more digestible and less gassy, so you can load up on these amazing high plant-based protein jewels and reap all their wonderful benefits. And we're gonna learn all about these hacks today. And towards the end, I'll share the beans that produce the least amount of gas and which produce the most. All right, let's go. So we've all been there. You cook up a big batch of beans and sure enough, you can expect a few hours of unwelcome flatulence. The smell of fear is enough to, have you avoid beans altogether. Why does this happen? Why do you produce gas in the first place? Well, beans and other vegetables like cabbage, broccoli, and even Brussels sprouts, for example, they contain oligosaccharides, including raffinose. These big words basically mean that beans contain these large molecules of sugar that can't be processed properly in the small intestine. And so what happens is the undigested sugars eventually travel to the large intestine, and in the large intestine, they become fermented by good bacteria. Now, this is not a bad thing because the bacterial fermentation is actually good for your gut health, but then the byproduct is gas. And while this is natural and you may not be able to cut all the gas from your beans, you can make them a whole lot easier to digest, which means less gas and less bloating. Now, in case you're thinking, well, I'm gonna just ditch them all together because they're too difficult for me to digest, I'm gonna help you out so you can eat them, okay? And this is something I want you to remember, like in life, just in general. Healthy choices are not always easy ones, but if we dig deeper, we can eventually find ways to make them easier and hopefully more enjoyable. And here's why I need you to not give up on your beans, all right? Number one, beans are banging with fiber. Fiber normalizes your bowel movements and lowers your cholesterol. Who doesn't want healthy bowel movements? Number two, beans are a plant-based protein powerhouse. Like a healthy plant-based lifestyle and beans, like they go hand in hand. You can easily get 15 grams of protein in 1 cup of beans. Speaking of protein, I have a whole video about the highest plant-based sources of protein. So if you're worried about protein, don't be. Check that video out and you'll be A-okay. 3, not only are they high in protein, but they are also packed with iron, magnesium, vitamin B6, and many other essential vitamins. They may even help you reduce your risk of heart disease and certain cancers. Number 4, in addition to being incredibly nutrient dense, beans are exceptionally versatile and can be added to soups, casseroles, salads, or enjoyed by themselves. And number 5, they're gonna help keep you fuller for longer. And this is something you especially want if you're transitioning to this lifestyle, because it's definitely not about lettuce and twigs, all right? Contrary to what a lot of people think, we don't need you falling over because you're hungry, all right? Just eat some beans. And number 6, my favorite, they're affordable. Hello, somebody. All while delivering loads of nutrition. Who doesn't want cheap, healthy food? So now that you're hopefully sold on beans, this is how you can cook them to make them a whole lot more digestible and less gassy so you can get all their benefits. The most important step in prepping your beans is soaking them before you cook them, all right? Now, you've probably seen your mama or your grandma do this. There's a reason for it. Soaking helps reduce the gas-producing sugars in the bean, so they're easier to digest. To get the most out of this step, put your dried beans in a pot or in a large bowl and simply cover them with water. And you're just gonna let them sit there for 6 to 8 hours or even overnight, then drain and rinse and cook in fresh water. This will help remove some of the indigestible sugars that cause the gas. I usually just soak mine before I go to sleep and they're ready the next morning, nice and degassed, to cook up a big batch for several days. Do you do this? Let me know if you do in the comments. On top of soaking your beans overnight, using a pressure cooker like an Instant Pot will also help break down the sugars, helping degas the beans. So once you rinse your beans, add them in your pressure cooker with at least 2 inches of water above your beans. And this is where you can add your seasonings like cumin, onions, oregano, garlic. And then what you're gonna do is set your cooking mode on high for about 20 minutes. And listen, they're a whole lot easier to digest when you do these 2 things, soaking and the pressure cooking. But if you're stuck on time and you don't get a chance to soak your beans before using your Instant Pot, because y'all know life be like that sometimes, the pressure cooker alone can still help your beans become more digestible. And if you don't have an Instapot, no biggie. Cooking your soaked beans stovetop style can still do the trick. Remember though, the trick is to soak them. So don't forget that step. Now this next hack is probably straight up sitting in your fridge. Baking soda is another hack you can use to help break down the hard to digest sugars in beans. Simply add baking soda to your soaking water before cooking them. Just about 1/4 a teaspoon of baking soda per cup of dried beans. Of course, let them soak for about 6 to 8 hours or overnight and rinse them several times before cooking. This method also helps to speed up cooking time, all while making your beans extra buttery, which is really nice. Let me know if you've tried this method. And if you find this video helpful so far, please go ahead and smash that like button. I so appreciate your support. Thank you. Now this next hack may be a new one to you. Kombu. Kombu is a seaweed used in Japanese cooking that can actually help improve your digestion of beans. Kombu contains enzymes which help break down difficult plant compounds and fibers into something your body can process easier. And not only does it make the beans less gassy and help minimize bloating, it also gives food a richer, complex flavor because it has a umami flavor. So it's like a little salty and a little savory all at the same time. Additionally, it comes with other health benefits such as improved gut health and better nutrient absorption. And all you do is add a strip of the seaweed to your beans while they're cooking, and that'll do the trick. Let me know if you've heard of kombu and if you use it yourself. So along with your favorite seasonings, consider adding ajwain or epazote. Ajwain is an Indian spice that looks like cumin seeds but tastes more like oregano and anise. Epazote is an herb commonly used in Mexican food that has notes of oregano, anise, and citrus. Both of these decrease gas. Add some to your pot while cooking and you're good to go. Ginger, turmeric, fennel, and cumin are also said to help with digestion. In addition, something quite a few people do, including my mom, is add carrots to their beans and it makes them less gassy. This is a thing, so maybe throw in a carrot too. If you're in a crunch and you still want beans, but all you have are canned beans, but you still want to make them less gassy, rinse them and soak them if you can, 1 to 2 hours if you have that. Probably unlikely if you opted for canned beans, but even soaking them for a little bit of time can help a long way, along with adding the seasonings that I mentioned. You can also cook them with an acid like lemon or tomatoes, which can also help degas the beans. But if you do, add the acids towards the end because it can keep the beans from getting buttery and soft and kind of keep them hard. While all beans may have hard to digest sugar, not all beans produce the same amount of gas in the tummy. The two beans that are the easiest to digest are adzuki beans and black-eyed peas. Mung beans and lentils are also a great choice for easier digestibility than some more popular beans. And if you absolutely must run away from gas, some of the beans that are most notorious for causing it are navy beans, chickpeas, and kidney beans. So you definitely want to at least soak these. Now, if you've eaten beans and did not use any of the methods to degas them ahead of time, there are some things you can do to alleviate the gas and the bloating. Sip on some ginger tea. It's an effective way to relieve intestinal discomfort. I like to blend about a 3-inch piece of ginger in several cups of water and I boil it for about 5 minutes, strain it, and it makes a wonderful tea that soothes the tummy. I prefer fresh, but a ginger tea bag can also do the trick. And peppermint tea is another way to relieve gas and bloating. Fennel seeds are also helpful in cutting gas. They help regulate the gut, which means less bloating. And you can get your fill by eating them whole, sprinkling them into your food, grinding them, or taking them as a supplement. If you need some bean recipes, check out my recipe playlist for some super nourishing plant-based meals right here. Please subscribe and hit the bell if you haven't yet. And thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If no one has told you, I'm proud of you for investing in your health. It's all gonna add up, okay? Love y'all, and I'll see you in the next one.